NHS whistleblower forced to withdraw claims after being threatened with life-changing costs. A junior doctor has been forced to withdraw whistleblowing allegations against the NHS, claiming he was threatened with life-changing legal costs if he lost the case. Dr Chris Day, 32, flagged concerns about understaffing at an intensive care unit at Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Woolwich in 2013, but was ignored, and of course then he was threatened. Because you see, the NHS don't spend the money on the patients, they keep it bundled up, ready for this sort of thing, so they can get the most expensive barristers out to beat you and then hit you with costs. This is how they keep the bullshit that's going on quiet. And it's not just the NHS, it's all of these corrupt corporations. French government considers state of emergency over Paris Yellow Vest protests. In other words, they don't like it when the French stand up and say, we're not having any of this Macron, you puppet, Rothschild puppet, we've had enough. Unlike the British who just sit there watching Coronation Street. France is considering imposing a state of emergency to stop a repeat of the violence in Paris that left swathes of the city centre looking like a war zone and injured 133 people. Rothschild puppet Emmanuel Macron returned from the G20 summit, and of course the place is a mess because, well, as we all know, Macron's a puppet and he's fully behind the Rothschilds and Soros plan to let all the swathes of migrants in invasion force and destroy the white nation of Europe. That is the plan. Whether you like it or not, that is the plan. Now, just because that's the plan doesn't mean the migrants are guilty of anything. In fact, they are being used, they are puppets being used by the evil dark forces to try and destroy the European nation, all the, well, not nation, all the European countries. That is what's going on there. The death of Queen Elizabeth will be one of the most disruptive events in Britain in the past 70 years. Won't be disruptive for me. In fact, I'll be dancing that the evil satanic bitch is gone. There's a lot of them that I'll be dancing when they go, or are executed, whichever comes first. It doesn't matter to me. Queen Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen of this realm, only she's a Satanist, and of her other realms and territories, head of Commonwealth, defender of the faith, is not going to live forever. Defender of the faith. Jesus, what a mistake that was. Since stealing the throne in 1952, the monarch has seen 13 prime ministers serve Britain and lived through another 13 US presidents. She is now 92. At some point, not for many years yet, we hope, you speak for yourself, Queen Elizabeth's II reign will come to an end. Not soon enough for me. But what happens then? Well, another puppet comes in and pretends to be the head of the state, but in actual fact, as has been seen by Charles, where he's getting poked in the chest by Rothschild telling him what to do, because Rothschilds run the planet. No Prime Minister or President ever runs it. It's the Rothschilds that run it, and they are also, as I'm sure you're well aware, Satanists. Evil satanic cult in quiet UK village that forced children into sickening orgies. Colin Bately persuaded women to get identical tattoos and find youngsters for 3-in-a-bed sex. On the face of it, there is nothing unusual about the quiet cul-de-sac in a suburban Welsh town, but the estate in Kidwelly was home to a satanic cult which saw children intimidated into having sex in horrific circumstances. Colin Bately, originally from London, established the sex-obsessed satanic cult in the charming seaside town of Kidwelly. He and 3 other women set up in Clos y Onon, a quiet cul-de-sac in the town during the 1990s, where they carried out their carnage of abuse. West Wales Online reported. The Carmarthenshire estate is, on the face of it, certainly not the most likely setting for a satanic paedophile ring. The full shocking scale of the abuse perpetrated by the cult finally came to light when they were jailed for a total of 36 years in 2011. A judge warned secret leader Bately he may never be freed, and he shouldn't be freed. And that's where the royals, May, Blair, Cameron, all the rest of the satanic paedophiles should be. Doctors euthanize 38-year-old woman dealing with depression instead of treating her. This is part of the depopulation plan. I know you can see it, but you've got to start talking out about it. In another horrifying example of the consequences of Belgium's euthanasia laws, 3 doctors are facing trial accused of certifying a woman as autistic so that she could die by euthanasia. Tyne Nyes, pictured centre, died by lethal injection in 2010 at the age of 38. She has told the 2 doctors and a psychiatrist that she's suffering with unbearable and incurable, so that she could qualify for euthanasia under Belgian law. No treatment attempted, just death. However, her family say that her suffering was down to a broken heart after the end of a relationship, not autism. They'll use any excuse they can to euthanasia that nowadays, because that helps the New World Order agenda. New study finds tampons are filled with cancer-causing and infertility-promoting glyphosate. Have you considered that the majority of cotton in the US, anyway, is genetically modified, and as such, it might be tainted with cancer-causing, endocrine-disrupting, infertility-prompting glyphosate? You know that stuff they spray on your food? Well, they put it on your sanitary products as well now. What a shock. They found glyphosate in cotton, gauze, swabs, wipes and pads of La Plata. Well, a new study at the University of La Plata found just that 85% of cotton products like gauze, cotton balls, swabs, pads, wipes, etc. tested positive for glyphosate. Another 62% tested positive for its environmental metabolite AMBPA, which has been found to potentially by 1,000 times more toxic in the body. Gauze samples tested positive 100% of the time. They're poisoning us every way they can. Food, water, air, sanitary products, they are attempting to destroy the human race because they're Satanists and they only want satanic scum left. When in actual fact the only Satanist left should be hung or decapitated or executed anyway. Every single Satanist should be removed from this planet. It's the only way we're going to have any decent lifestyle. Some migrants heading home, they tricked us. Our dreams have gone to hell. About 350 decided to return home in the face of a long wait at the border. For some Central American migrants in Tijuana, the American dream is over before it even begun. Around 350 members of the first migrant caravan who recently reached the northern border city have decided to voluntarily return to their home countries, Honduras in most cases. In the face of having to wait for months for the opportunity to file a request for asylum in the United States, some migrants who speak to the newspaper Milenio claim they were misled about their chances of gaining entry into the US. Migrant advocacy group Pueblos Sin Fronteras told us not to worry, that there was going to be transportation, that Mexico was going to open the gates so that we didn't have to enter the US illegally via the river. Honduran migrant Urcia Lopez said, referring to the attempted border breach Sunday, what was offered to the caravan of Honduran migrants was a trap. The people that brought us to this place, Soros, supposedly caravan leaders, took advantage of us. They used us in a horrific way. What they did to us was no name, he added. We came with enthusiasm, encouraging those who didn't want to keep. See, Soros's attempt to destroy the US is falling down. Now let's destroy his attempt to destroy Europe. Child protection worker on the run after police child porn raid at his home. This is his face. This is his face. Keep your eye. If you see him, beat the shit out of him and then call the police. A supervisor with the Department of Health and Human Services Child Protection Unit has fled after police raided his home in Bendigo in relation to child pornography offences. Cameron Allen, 44, is wanted for allegedly knowingly possessing child pornography. Detective from the Central Victorian Sexual Offence and Child Abuse Interrogation Unit searched Mr Allen's home earlier this week, but he has since fled. The police are calling for public assistance to help find Mr Allen following the issue of an arrest warrant. Investigators have released an image of Allen in the hope of someone may have information on his whereabouts, current whereabouts. It was believed Allen was maybe driving a white Ford Mondeo sedan with the Victorian registration number YV1107 or YVI107. He may be heading towards the New South Wales area of Wagga Wagga and Godagal. Anyway, anyone with any information should phone Crime Stoppers on 1-800-333-000 or log a confidential crime report to, and it tells you where if you want to look it up if you're from Australia, of course. The scum. Queen unites Meghan and Kate for Christmas. No, they're putting on a united front because they don't want us all realising that they argue just like we argue. Only difference is we don't drink blood, are rape children, or are satanic like they are. No, I'm no Mr Blobby. Hunk Malik evicted. Cop that. Baby P mum, let me see my kids. I wonder if that's out to do with the current head of child, won't call it protection, abuse services in Nottingham, Alison Michelska. Mirror. And I'm out too. Some guy. Brilliant football puller. Yeah, great. Noel, shocked. Holly and Deck can't believe I got the boot from I'm a Celeb. Nick Knowles is so rattled he gets on everyone's nerves. Viewers want to see me back on TV with my new pal Harry. Strictly, why is that? I mean, I'm big celebrity bullshit. Why is that in the newspapers so much? They got no news like the satanic paedophiles in Parliament. Join Fight for Britain's Needy. Help feed hungry kids. Mirror launches a campaign to give thousands of poor children a better Christmas. Well, how about we get rid of the Parliament because they're the ones that's causing all this shit, and we'll have a far better country. Oh, and of course, the borders will come up and we'll repatriate those that are already here, that came here since the year 2000. We'll repatriate them back to their own country and all their family. Daily Fail. The most magical Christmas stories. You've done us proud, Britain. Our call for volunteers to aid the NHS has only just begun, but already magnificent 7,300 male readers have pledged 420,000 hours to help to be free slaves. Now will you sign up? No. They will be together at Christmas, so it be crackers at dawn. Scum parasites. Sometimes alcohol is the only thing that helps. Lars von Trier, The Guardian. Exclusive. Racism in Britain. The stark truth uncovered. What a load of bullshit. Overlooked for promotion in a manner that felt unfair. 43%, allegedly. I've never seen this poll, so therefore it's just made up bullshit as usual by this scum. Justice. Being stopped by the police without good reason. 37%. Bullshit. In shops. Mistaken for an employee rather than a customer. 55%. Piss off. Going out. Being asked to leave a club, bar or restaurant for no good reason apart from the fact I was annoying the girls and being an obnoxious twat. 34%. Travel. Being stopped going through airport security on customs. 62%. What a crock of shit. I've never read such made up bullshit since the last time I looked in the papers. May faces contempt threat over Brexit advice. Oh, of course, and she's not going to be showing us the legal advice because that says you're breaking the law. But then again, they do it every day. Express. Join fight to save libraries from final chapter. Well, why is it the final chapter? Because the councils are shutting them down. Why are the councils shutting them down? Because whenever they try and bring in a dictatorship, the first thing that gets locked up is books, because they don't want you reading and finding out your rights and the fact that they're a bunch of corrupt criminal slag bags. Our glitzy guide to gorgeous Christmas this Christmas. Gifts this Christmas. Pledge for it. New EU poll is gross betrayal, outrage at a bid to force referendum. Growing calls for Remainer MPs to stage a second Brexit referendum were attacked as a gross betrayal of democracy yesterday. Yes, it is. Strictly storm as Ashley survives backlash again. Why do we bother buying any of these junk? Utter junk. Speaking of junk, the tell lie graph. We need to recover our nerve and do better than this. Emma's the favourite on awards night. Backstop is bad for Britain, May told. PM's most trusted negotiator warned her of consequences in letter seen by Telegraph. Swan family shot dead over royal symbolism. Banking doom loop threat to UK. Army could be called to quell Paris riots. TV debate needs a lever, says ex-minister. Spying must enter new era. Aye. Paris riots. French consider state of emergency after angry mobs torch shops and cars. No, that'll be the agent provocateurs who work for the government. Rubbish SOS. Revival is in burning domestic waste after bin thieves strike. How's your father? New dads to get mental health check. Parliament versus Downing Street. Constitutional crisis looming after PM refuses to show Brexit legal advice to MPs. Government fears the Attorney General's explosive verdict could scupper deal. Geoffrey Cox faces House of Commons today after privately warning that Britain could be trapped indefinitely in customs union with Brussels if MPs back May. There you go. Black and white. Loss of faith in politics could lead to civil unrest, warns Archbishop of York. Hope for people with MS. Ski the beast. No thanks. Families reunited. Fast food drivers help to find missing relatives. Hear them roar. The art of women's protests. Metro. Anarchy on Paris streets. Well, notice they haven't used chaos this time. Dozens who still don't know they were wrongly deported. Trump leaves leader in the lurch. Labour's plan to topple May. PM will face no confidence vote if Brexit deal flops. Now, this has been the plan all along. They've been planning this for decades. They knew that this was going to happen, and so the plan is for May to lose, to be sacked or resign or whatever crap, then to be a general election, then Labour to win, and then Corbyn to do another referendum. That's the plan. Mark my words, that is the plan. The Times. Macron demands new police tactics after rioters ransack Paris, instead of Macron ransacking Paris. DUP threat to abandon support for May in vote. PM faces struggle to survive confidence motion. Taxman has Netflix in its sights over UK accounts. Gemma Anderson at last night's something or other. Right, so you're aware of the plan to have another referendum, which would mean that referendums are totally pointless because we've had one and we voted to leave, and it's quite clear the treasonous traitor in Parliament, Theresa May, is not leaving. We're not leaving the EU in any shape, way or form. They're still getting rights to our waters, they're still getting open borders, they're still getting to tell us what laws that are going on. We aren't leaving, even if there is a Brexit, because Brexit is in name only. We will still be fully tied in, including military and financially and police-wise. So we've been traitor. We've been May has committed treason. The traitor is finally out the bag. She needs to suffer the consequences of treason and sedition, along with any other twat in that house of demonic that backs her.